So you want to ride what the pros ride? Well, here's your chance. ENVE just dropped the SES 4.5 Pro. It's the exact wheel set that Tadej asked for, and it's the one that UAE has been helping develop over the last 2 seasons. But here's the question. Is it really that much better than the standard 4.5? That's what I wanted to find out. And look, the 4.5 was already one of the best wheel sets out there. It's fast, it's stable, it's versatile. But the story goes that UAE came to ENVE and said, hey, can we make the 4.5s lighter for the mountain stages without losing the aerodynamics and all the things that we love about it? So ENVE went back to the drawing board. And on a side note, I actually got to see these wheels in person a couple weeks ago before Grodeo. I spent some time checking out the final product and touring ENVE's facility in northern Utah where they're built. And from the outside, it looks a lot like the standard SES 4.5, but under the hood, it's a different animal. They reworked the carbon layup using higher modulus, lower weight material. They trimmed the rim depth slightly. It's now 1 millimeter more shallow, 49 in the front and 55 millimeters in the rear. They narrowed the internal width from 25 to 23.5 millimeters and added ceramic bearings, lighter graphics, and they've refined it all the way down to locking alloy nipples. And then there's the new Innerdrive Pro hub. All in, the 4.5 Pros come in at 1,295 grams, including tape and valves. That's 155 grams lighter than the standard 4.5s. Now, quick pause on that. That's approaching climbing wheel weight, but at 49 millimeters deep in the front and 55 millimeters deep in the rear. So you're getting climbing weight with a near TT silhouette. It's a pretty good value prop. So where did all that weight go? Well, most of the weight savings came from the rims. They shaved around 50 grams per rim thanks to shallower depth, narrower width, and a smarter carbon layup. But here's the interesting bit. By removing carbon from underneath the wide hookless bead, they ended up with what they call a small hook. So is it hooked or is it hookless? Well, it's still hookless, but there will be some online arguments about that. It's inevitable. Now, personally, I've ridden both hooked and hookless, and I haven't had an issue either way. What's more relevant is this, that they're rated for 100 PSI, and they're Aero optimized around a 28 millimeter tire. Now that last bit caught me off guard. I usually run 30s or even 32s. So it made me wonder, would I be better off sticking with the standard 4.5s, which are optimized around a 30 millimeter tire? But then I did a deep dive into the aerodynamic charts, and the difference between a 28 and a 30, well, it's less than 1 watt. So if the trade-off is less than 1 watt, but you save 155 grams, well, that's a no-brainer for me. You'd feel that 155 grams every time you accelerate, brake, or get out of the saddle. That's not like some theoretical number, that's real-world performance. Now, about that Innerdrive Pro hub, the set comes in at 281 grams total, 87 grams in the front, 194 grams in the rear. Inside, you've got the same internals that ENVE uses on their World Tour builds, ceramic bearings, light action ratchet spring, and a 40-tooth engagement. It's what they call the hop-up kit, and it's found on the 4.5 Pro. So who are these wheels for? Now look, if you're already on the standard 4.5s, you're not missing much. They're still incredibly fast, stable, and ready for anything. But if you're looking for a little more edge, a little more responsiveness, less weight, World Tour ready refinement, and this is where that shows up. And look, these are handmade in the US. Now, they're not cheap, but at $3,750, they sit right below that $4,000 mark. And I think they're priced competitively when you consider the performance, the build quality, the warranty, and the R&D that has gone into them. I've toured the ENVE facility multiple times, and I've spent time with the people who build these. They know their stuff, and there's a lot of pride behind the products that they create. So where do I land on these wheels? Well, I don't think that these wheels necessarily rewrite the script, but they do sharpen the pencil. If you're hunting for PRs, or maybe you've got some huge climbing days on the calendar, or you just want that pro level refinement, this is one of the sharpest tools that you can add to your setup right now. For everyone else, us normal folks, I think the standard 4.5 still rips. Who knows, maybe some of this tech will trickle down into the next generation of ENVE wheels. Let me know what you think. Would you make the jump to the 4.5 Pros? And what's your dream build that you would build around these wheels? Drop me a comment and let me know below. If you like this video, I'll link some of my other videos and reviews and builds up above or down below. And I've also added some new stuff to the yard sale section of my website, outdoorbros.com, and I'll even be adding some of my wild kits there in the near future. Anyways, thanks a ton for watching. Until next time.